Good morning, I'm Nivareti Manu, and this is your morning news fix for Thursday, 14th of May. In this update, an economist says the government's operating allowance for the budget is now very tight. It's cut the allowance by another $300 million to $2.1 billion. Economist Cameron Bagri says the government's trying to get back to surplus, commit to infrastructure and maintain core services. But he says it can't do it all. And he says if the government prioritises fiscal credibility and infrastructure, it will have to cut spending on core services. Donald Trump's in Beijing for his highly anticipated talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping on the Iran war, trade and US arms sales to Taiwan. The substantive part of the summit will happen later today, when the leaders hold bilateral talks and a formal banquet. Ahead of that, China's been giving Trump a pomp-filled welcome following the arrival of Air Force One in the Chinese capital. Sir Keir Starmer is still fighting to stay on as British Prime Minister amid growing calls for his resignation. Supporters of Health Secretary Wes Streeting have been telling the BBC they expect him to launch a leadership challenge against Starmer as soon as tonight. 4 ministers and 6 ministerial aides have now quit, calling for Starmer's resignation. Questions are being raised about the oversight of homeschooling following revelations Tom Phillips was authorised to homeschool his 3 children. After intervention from the Ombudsman, the Ministry of Education's confirmed certificates were granted before July 2021, allowing the children to legally stay out of school. Regular Education Review Office checks were scrapped for children homeschooled in 2010, with only a small number of families now reviewed each year. Auckland University Professor of Education Stuart McNaughton says the inconsistency is concerning, particularly as homeschooling numbers are hitting record highs. Businesses will soon face tougher penalties for misleading pricing. A bill's been introduced to Parliament that would increase the maximum penalty for misleading prices from $600,000 to $5 million. Digital driver licences will soon become a reality under a new law change passed by Parliament. The legislation will also allow for digital car registrations and warrants of fitness that don't require stickers to be attached to the windscreen. The digital licences will give people a new way of verifying their age without sharing their full name or address. Wellington's Ingrid Horrocks has won top prize at this year's Ockham New Zealand Book Awards for her short story collection All Her Lives. Tina Makarete won the General Non-Fiction Award for her book This Compulsion in Us. Nawhanua Kursell won the Top Poetry Award. In sport, New Zealand rugby boss Steve Lancaster has quashed the idea of going alone for revitalised super competition. The concept is in the spotlight with the likely loss of the Moana Pacifica franchise. England have ended pace bowler Ollie Robinson's 2-year exile and called up an uncapped trio of opener Emilio Gay, keeper batter James Roux and right-arm quick Sonny Baker for next month's Test cricket series against New Zealand. Team New Zealand's Blair Tuke is pursuing an off-water role, linking the design and sailing groups for his 4th America's Cup campaign. I'm Nivareti Manu, and that's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at midday from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.